Stone Mountain in the US state of Georgia, a famous landmark and more recently a controversial monument. A 27-metre high carving on the north face of the rock depicts 3 Confederate leaders from the American Civil War, men whose legacy today is seen by many as having fought against the abolition of slavery. Efforts in recent years to have the carving removed have so far fallen short. It's a proposed action that divides opinion here.
I think it's ridiculous. I think we're here to learn from our past, what has happened, what can we do better, and taking down the statue doesn't erase what's happened in the past,
I mean, I see this as being racist. It's a bunch of white people on the mountain, right? And they even got a Confederate flag around there. I believe that should be definitely taken down. At least I can take the flags down now.
The debate over Confederate monuments is not limited to Stone Mountain. Indeed, communities across the US have been faced with similar decisions. Those who would leave them in place argue they are a part of history and there to be learned from.
That you're judging everybody by the standards of the present. These values change as populations change, as ideologies change, as people change. But you would also expect that being human, they would at least be willing to tolerate the fact that their ancestors may look at them differently than their own descendants will look at them in the future.
Actions have varied across the country. Richmond, Virginia's Monument Avenue now has no monuments. Macon, Georgia moved its downtown statues to a Confederate cemetery. And in Augusta, Georgia, despite calls for its removal, a towering Confederate monument still distinguishes a main thoroughfare. JOYCE Law, a historian and Augusta native, says if the country were not still dealing with racial inequality, the debate over the statues would not exist.
Generally, when you have a statue that's dominating, in a public area, and then you would tend to think, okay, they thought that way 100 years ago. Are they still feeling this way now? Even if they're not saying this, and a lot of people will say yes. Because we still are dealing with racism.
As the debate over Confederate statues rages on, the issue of racial inequality is likely to remain for some time, whether or not the monuments come down. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, Atlanta, Georgia.